The Planning, Building, and Zoning Committee. May we have a roll call, please?
Chairman Stanton.
Present.
Vice Chairman Arnett.
Present.
Trustee Mills.
Present.
Trustee Newell.
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Gata.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
We do have a quorum, and at this point, I would like to ask for a motion to put this meeting, I guess, in, what's the term
I'll make a
now?
motion to recess.
Okay, and make a motion, thank you. Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No opposed? The ayes have it, we're recessed.
Oh, shoot, I don't have. I don't have my rubber sheet. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to call the board meeting of March 18th to order. Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Present.
Trustee Arnett. Present. Trustee Mills.
Present.
Trustee Newell.
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present. Can everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you.
With the leave of the board, I'd like to go down to President's report for the purpose of the reading of the proclamations. Is that okay? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay. Who's got the first one?
I do. Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas exemplary public service employment is vital importance in assuring provision of service directed toward the health, welfare, and safety of the citizens of any community. And whereas the police department has upon its roster an individual who should be commended for assisting said department in faithfully serving the citizens of this community, and length of service coupled with continued training, positive attitude toward assigned job tasks makes the profile of this dedicated employee. And whereas the Village of Hoffman Estates, on behalf of its citizens, desires to acknowledge its indebtedness and gratitude for 25 years of dedicated and proficiency in the aforementioned department. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under or by virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of this Village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaim Monday, March 25th, 2019, as Christopher Braun Day in the Village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all employees and citizens of the village to join us in expressing gratitude and appreciation to this employee who may have assisted them with outstanding service.
Chair will accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
The motion, there's a second. We appreciate the great work that Christopher has done for the Village of Hoffman Estates and our police department and our citizens over the past 25 years. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. Chief? Give this to Christopher with our thanks.
Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas exemplary public service employment is of vital importance in assuring provision of services directed toward the health, welfare, and safety of the citizens of any community. And whereas the Development Services Department, Engineering Division, has upon its roster an individual who should be commended for assisting said department in faithfully serving the citizens of this community. And whereas length of service coupled with continued training and positive attitude toward assigned job tasks make a profile of this dedicated employee. And whereas the Village of Hoffman Estates, on behalf of its citizens, desires to acknowledge its indebtedness and gratitude for 25 years of dedication and proficiency in the aforementioned department. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by the virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and laws of this Village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaims Thursday, March 28, 2019, as Martin Salerno Day in the Village of Hoffman Estates, and urges all employees and citizens of the village to join us in expressing gratitude and appreciation to this employee who may have assisted them with outstanding service.
Chair will accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's a motion, a second. We appreciate the great job that Marty has done for 25 years. If you've gotten your street repaired in the last 25 years, you know someone who is greatly responsible for making sure that the job was done right and done well, and you will be missed, Marty. Anybody else want to, Karen, you want to say anything?
Well, I've worked with Marty many times over the years with our neighborhood development here, and you've always been a great help to us, and
We definitely have enjoyed working with you. Be sad to see you retire this year. Thank you, Marty.
Enjoy the retirement, but don't be a stranger. Come back and visit us.
You can always change your mind about the retirement.
You'll miss us.
Yeah, what's the rush? Yeah.
We'll let you keep the plaque if you change your mind. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it, motion carried. Marty, you and your family, come on up.
You can bring them up also, right? Sure,
Come on up, guys.
of course. Congratulations, Marty, on that, right. We appreciate all your service also. Thank you, Michael. Thank you also. Yes, you can come up there. Say hello, right? Congratulations also.
Thanks for borrowing them. Good to see you too.
Your public works is in the blood, huh? It is. Government service. Thank you for coming. Marty, you need the plaque. Yeah, come on, guys.
All together.
Yeah.
Tilt the top just a little towards me. Okay, the glare. Yeah, perfect. All right, perfect. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, Marty.
Oh, I still have a badge. You didn't tell me.
It's time the chair would ask for a motion. Oh, we have one more. That's right. We do.
I get the last one, okay.
Okay.
Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas exemplary public service employment is of vital importance in assuring provision of services directed toward the health, welfare, and safety of the citizens of any community, and whereas the Public Works Department has upon its roster an individual who should be commended for assisting said department in faithfully serving the citizens of this community. And whereas length of service coupled with continued training and positive attitude toward assigned job tasks make a profile of this dedicated employee. And whereas the Village of Hoffman Estates, on behalf of its citizens, desires to acknowledge its indebtedness and gratitude for 20 years of dedication and proficiency in the aforementioned department. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by the virtue of the authority vested in him, by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of this Village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaim Friday, March 29th, 2019, as Michael Backstrom Day in the Village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all employees and citizens of the village to join us in expressing gratitude and appreciation to this employee who may have assisted them with outstanding service.
Chair will accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's a motion to second. We appreciate the great job Michael's done for us in Public Works for the last 25 years, and we'll get more years out of him. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it, motion carried. Kelly, you want to accept this? Give Michael our appreciation. Okay, now the chair would ask for a motion to recess to go back to the
I'll make a motion to recess
Planning,
to go.
Building, and Zoning Committee and have this meeting resume after the completion of the third committee.
Sorry, started early. I'll make a motion to recess the board meeting to go back to PB&Z.
Second.
The motion is second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. We are recessed.
Ready, Deb?
Yep.
Okay. I'd like to call the Planning, Building, and Zoning Committee back to order. May we have a roll call once more?
Chairman Stanton.
Still present.
Vice Chairman Arnett.
Present.
Trustee Mills.
Present.
Trustee Newell.
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Gata.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
Okay, we still have a quorum also. Approval of the minutes for February 11th, 2019.
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. Anybody notice any corrections or deletions that need to be made? Hearing, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. New business. First is request by Chris Petrovich for approval of a site plan amendment for a facade change and a change to the conditions of approval to allow temporary occupancy on the property located at 1300 West Higgins Road.
So moved.
I'll second.
Do we have the petitioner here, or Pete, are you going to also handle this?
Here also, they can come up.
Okay. Pete, why don't you discuss what we're doing?
Sure. While they come up, sorry. The petitioner has been working on this site, as you know, for quite some time, and has basically have almost everything finished. What he's looking for tonight is to an amendment to the plan. He had originally proposed to put a stone siding facade on the basically the front and the two sides of the building. Since starting construction, he was able to determine that the condition of the brick was such that he was able to paint it kind of a dark gray color, which you can see in the photos that were provided. Is asking that it be allowed to be remain as the painted brick instead of the stone that he originally proposed. Secondly, there was a specific condition requiring that everything on the site be done prior to occupancy of the building. And he's asking at this point, due to the weather at this particular time, he's looking to open and hopes to have some relief to that condition. The items left to be completed are the little bit of landscape work, and we need to do a final inspection on the landscaping, as well as the fence screening that would go around the dumpster enclosure area. So he's requesting that occupancy be granted, and then we would issue a temporary occupancy if it's approved tonight, and that would allow him to begin operation, and then we would have a follow-up cycle that we would address in the spring to make sure the rest of those items are finished.
Yes, Mayor.
Is there a date certain by which all these things have to be complied with? This project is going on forever.
Yes, the project would have, if it's approved tonight, it would allow the date to be basically June 30th would be the required deadline to finish everything.
We should also add that the village is still holding security
The
in
mic?
excess of what's
You're not on,
needed.
you're not on the mic.
Sorry, the village is holding security in excess of what's needed to make sure all this does get done.
It's also my understanding that if it's not done by June 30th, that then there could be,
Citations.
yeah, citations,
Yes,
which would
sir.
include more. Yes, trustee Palafis.
Given that there's not an active business license, can we actually vote on a temporary occupancy permit?
We can't grant a business license unless there's a temporary occupancy permit. So it's a chicken and egg thing. So this is necessary before the clerk's office could issue a business license.
I have the same concern as the mayor. How temporary will this be permanently temporary? Because of the amount of time it's taken.
Mr. Petrovich, you want to address us regarding,
Yes, I mean, I only have to
you
do
want to
a-
give your name and address officially?
Yes, my name is Chris Petrovich, and I'm at 249 Ash in Wooddale, Illinois. And the site only needs a little bit of work left. It only needs a fence and a couple bushes around the landscaping. I mean, as soon as the weather warms up, I'm ready to do those things, and it shouldn't take that long to complete it, so I have no problem with the conditions.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Yes, trustee
Well,
Mills.
I just think we're going to have to be very serious on this June 30th date, and there will be no leeway on it, because this has been going on way too long. Are you doing any business there now? I've seen lights on in there at night.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I do have to say, I like the looks of the building.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Very nice.
Big.
Anybody else up here? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
This will go to the board, I believe, tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Second is a request approval of a resolution adopting the 2019 zoning map.
So moved.
I'll second.
Anybody have any questions regarding this? All right, all those in favor of the motion and a second, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Third is request authorization to waive bidding and purchase replacement Code Enforcement Division Vehicle Unit C-81 through the Northwest Municipal Conference Suburban Purchasing Cooperative in an amount not to exceed $21,730.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any questions regarding this? Okay, all those in favor of the motion and second, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We do have 3 reports for information only. First is the Planning Division Monthly Report. Anybody have any questions or for anybody on that? That'll be received and filed. Second is Code Enforcement Division Monthly Report. Anybody have concerns or questions on that? That'll be received and filed. And third is the Economic Development and Tourism Monthly Report. Anybody have any questions for Kevin on that? No? Okay, that'll be received and filed. President's report.
I'll wait for the board meeting, Chairman Stanton.
Okay, and we don't have anything in other or
Trustee
items-
Stanton?
Yes. We do.
I'd like to ask for one consideration for the other category.
For the what?
Which category? Other?
Other. I'd like to ask, I'm gonna need your help on this, Jim. I'd like to ask that we, on next month's committee, ask the intended buyer of the Bergman property to come in and address the board as to, or the committee, sorry, why it's taking so long.
Good.
And what the intentions are for timeline. So I get asked about it almost daily.
That's fine. If we can set that up, that'd be great.
I think that's April 8th, I think, the next PB&Z meeting.
Correct.
So-
That's correct.
So I know Mr. Guglielmo and I have both been prodding and contacting them, and to no avail, so this is a great step.
Okay.
You could do it at the board meeting on April Fool's Day.
We'll wait till the 8th.
A little symbolism there, Mayor?
So, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay. All right, that being done with other, there are no items in review, and motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
And call the General Administration and Personnel Committee for the Village of Hoffman Estates for March 18th, 2019. May I have a roll call, please?
Chairman Arnett.
Present.
Vice Chairman Mills.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Newell.
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Gata.
Present.
Mayor McClure.
Present.
Thank you. We do have a quorum. If I can get a motion for approval of the minutes for February 11th, 2019.
moved.
I'll second.
Any questions or corrections? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. We have 3 new items under new business. Number 1 is a presentation by Palatine Public Library District regarding a voter referendum on April ballot. Do we have? You can go ahead and state your name and your address, please.
Good evening. My name is Bruce Jefferson. I live in Palatine, not Hoffman Estates. I'm the president of the Palatine Library District Board, and I am here with...
I'm Jeannie Dilcher, and I'm the executive director of the Palatine Public Library District.
I wanted to thank the mayor and the trustees for giving us time to make a brief presentation to you on the upcoming referendum that the library has. I will point out to you, and I'm sure you know it, that Palatine Library serves the north section of Hoffman Estates. I also know that you have 4 libraries that cover Hoffman Estates, so you have to keep track of a lot of things. We have a branch in Hoffman Estates at the Willow Rec Center, so many of your citizens are able to use that. I wanted to open a little bit by saying we're going to, did you pass out the information, Jen?
I did.
We've passed out some information to you. I will say that we get a lot of traffic in the Palatine Library District. We have over 500,000 total visits every year. 72% of the district residents have library cards, so we have very high use, so we're very proud of that. Getting to the referendum, the reason that it came out is during our planning over the last couple years, we did some capital needs studies, and those studies came to the conclusion that we are going to have some rather large financial expenditures necessary for maintenance of the library itself. Basically, capital repairs needs in the next 5 to 6 years will be $5.8 million. We have been setting aside money for our special fund, but that's up to about $1 million, a little over that, or a little less than that. So there was a need for some extra capital. We've also, you'll see this in some of the things that I hope that we've handed out to you. Palatine Library is run very efficiently. If you look at the costs of our property taxes per person based on the surroundings, we're one of the most efficient libraries in the area, based on Arlington Heights, Schaumburg, all of the surrounding libraries. We are the most efficient in terms of cost per resident, number of employees, and we're proud of that. So we didn't take this step lightly, but it became necessary that we would have to ask for some additional fundings. We've also trying to make some upgrades to the library itself. So in December, we passed perhaps the referendum, and it'll come up on the April 2nd ballot. We're asking that our limiting rate be increased 0.07% over our 2017 rate, which equates to about $52 per year for a median-priced house or home in our library district. So a median-priced home in the Palatine Library District is about $266,000. So $1 a day is what it comes out to be. I'm sure you know that the library section of a tax bill is pretty tiny. We're less than 3%, I would say. As I said, the referendum is on the ballot, and actually voting has started. I see your signs have popped up here outside your voting area. The ballot language is on the material that we handed out to you. It's set by statute, so it's not that easy to read referendum ballot language, but that's what it says. And we've gotten some questions from citizens, what's it mean? But basically, we've tried to convert it into, here's what it means to you as a taxpayer. We have a lot of stuff on our webpage, and actually a tax calculator, so people can go on and find out how much the increase would be. We're hopeful that if this passes, it will increase our budget or our intake of tax revenues by about $1.7 million per year. So that's the increase. And that would be maybe an increase of $22 per $100,000 evaluation. So with that, I will let Executive Director Dilger give you some further information.
Sure, so I'm just going to highlight a few other things on here. As Bruce mentioned, on the back we've got some information for voters about where property tax dollars go. Unlike school districts and park districts, 95% of our revenue is local property taxes. We don't charge fees for most of our services like a park district. We don't get a lot of money from the state and none from the federal government, unlike schools. So we are heavily reliant on local property taxes. We became a district library, and the Hoffman Estates residents joined our library district 44 years ago in 1974. And in all that time, we have never asked for an operating rate increase above the tax capped amount. So we have lived within our means, and Bruce sort of referred to this chart that's at the bottom left here on that side, where you can see that right now we get about $75 per person in comparison to some of our neighboring libraries. We also, in some other charts that are not on here, but they're on our website, you can see that we have the best rate for staffing. We have the lowest staffing per capita. So we have done a really great job over the past 44 years of keeping ourselves lean and efficient, but costs continue to rise. And so that's why we know that we're going to need an operating rate increase if we're to continue. If the referendum were to pass, you can see the green dotted line on that same chart. We still would be lower than neighboring libraries, but it would give us $93 per person estimated. On the front side, we can give you a little bit of information about what would happen either way. As a tax-paid employee, I can't ask you to vote yes or no. I can only tell you what would happen either way. So if the referendum were to pass, we talked a lot with our community before we made this decision about what they're looking for. We did some strategic planning, and we heard that people really want us to make sure that we maintain our 3 facilities. They want us to increase our service hours to be competitive with some of the neighboring libraries like Schaumburg. Our hours are not as, we're not open as many hours as those libraries, and so residents of Hoffman Estates in the northern part have fewer hours. They want more collaborative spaces, more meeting rooms, more study rooms. We hear that over and over. There's a high demand for that now as solo entrepreneurs are looking for a place to work and homeowners are looking for a place to have an association meeting in the evenings and that kind of thing. They want us to keep up with new technology and make sure that we have decent bandwidth when they come in to do homework or research. And obviously they want us to keep up with the books, movies, and music and all of those new things. We did some preliminary investigation into what interior remodeling and renovation is needed in some of our buildings. And I can tell you in the North Hoffman branch, if any of you have been there, it's sort of like 2 rooms with a door in the middle. And one of the things that we'd like to do, as Bruce mentioned, it is a collaborative work with the Hoffman Estates Park District, but with their permission, what we'd like to do is to knock out that center wall. That would allow parents to be watching their children while they're in the adult area. It would allow better visibility. It would allow more space for things like pop-up programming and story times and crafts. And so there are some things that we could do to make that space much more flexible and user-friendly and increase the amount of materials that we could keep in that facility. So those all are just preliminary designs. We've got some for the main library and for the Rand Road branch as well. If you're interested in seeing more about that, it's on our website. If the referendum were to fail, we would still have to address that $5.8 million in capital needs that Bruce brought up. And so we would have to look at our services and make some cuts. We'd have to look at reducing hours and days of service across all 3 locations. We'd probably have to shrink the new materials budget so we wouldn't be able to get as many copies and as many titles. We wouldn't be able to be as proactive in keeping technology updated. And we'd have to look at the staffing that we have right now that's visiting local schools and daycares and say maybe we can't afford to do that kind of outreach anymore. So those are some of the things that the board would look at if the referendum were to fail. So we have a much longer presentation that's either available on our website or we have 2 more in-person ones. One is tomorrow night at Fremd High School and one is next Monday night at the main library. With that, I will leave it at that. I don't know what the board's time is, but we can answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you. Does anyone have, Trustee Palafis?
Just a comment and then a question. So I grew up in Palatine and remembered when the now Crust Academy was the new library. So great job on holding the line. What's the library district's bond rating? Do you guys have a...
Because we don't have any bonds right now, we don't have a rating.
Okay.
I would hope it'd be good. But
Yeah, makes sense.
We have no debt, so that's a good thing.
yeah.
Right, and I live in the part of North Hoffman that's Barrington Library, but we still defect and come to you because the kids go to
We're
Friend.
happy to have you.
But I just want you to know I've heard a lot of good feedback about this, and I think it also helps riding on the successful bond of Harper. So when I get asked a lot, should we support this like we did Harper? I tell people the reasons. And now having this information helps, but give them the same positive input about what you have. So good job.
Thank you.
That's all for me.
Thank you very much for coming out. We do appreciate you taking the time.
We appreciate your time.
Yep.
Move on to item number 2, request approval of a resolution creating the Platts Concert Commission, increase in membership from 7 to 9.
So moved.
I'll second.
Do you have any questions? Trustee Palafis?
We're growing.
That's
People
great.
want to be on the commission. So we have some people recruiting and it's getting more popular and we're in pace to be bigger than the 4th of July, but the mayor's got quite a lead. So
And it's not just because you're on there, right?
it's not, it has nothing to do with me actually. I give all the credit to Gail Vandenberg and the rest.
Okay.
And
Anybody
Ryan.
else?
I saw him here.
Anybody else? All those in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 3, request authorization to award contract for council chambers televising and presentation system to Key Code Media out of Schaumburg, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $88,825 for
$825.04.
I'll
Why they
second.
didn't, I don't know.
We do have a motion and a second.
We do have a motion.
And a second.
Bruce, do you have anything to add?
Just to let you know that we went out for proposals, sent it out to 3 companies, advertised it on the website, had 3 more companies come in off of that, and came up with the 3 proposals that were listed on here. I would point out that there's a typo on here. If you looked at the total on the back here, it is actually $82,825.04. So I'm actually asking for less than the amount on the
Here it is.
in the recommendation.
Trustee Mills?
Bruce, what kind of improvements will this provide to our system?
We will be updating the televising portion, the switchers, and so forth in the back room. We will be updating the presentation system. So the boat anchor will go away. We'll have built-in remotes at 2 points, one at the dais there in the center, one over here for staff, and one in the back. We will also have a new control system for the presentation system, which means when people bring in their laptops and hook up, it should be compatible. This system has been here for 11 years and is a little bit over its expected lifespan. So it's time for an upgrade.
And this will help with the volume too, that, on the broadcast? That's been a problem, I've heard.
Yes, that should be addressed as well.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Mayor?
Place, Bruce.
We are hoping to get it done the end of April. We have the 5th Monday there where the room will not be in use, so that would give us almost 2 weeks to get the system installed.
So you will be able to use it for a brief period of time.
Yes, I will.
That's great.
Trustee Palafis, did you have something else?
The mayor beat me to my question, but I have another question. When we do the dial-in, is there any chance that that audio could come into the new video system?
Yes, we have also budgeted for a call-in card where it would come in straight into the audio system and we wouldn't have to put the microphone on the telephone. We'd also be updating the assisted listening device for the boardroom as well.
Okay.
Thank you. Do we need to amend the motion for the dollar amount?
That would be, yes, you would, and we'll have to amend it on the board meeting when we get to it under additional business as well.
Do we really have to amend it because it says in an amount not to exceed 88,000?
You don't have to, because obviously 82 is less than 88.
Right, but I would just leave it as it is, to be honest with you.
It's up to the committee.
We'll leave it as is.
Okay.
No other questions, or? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Bruce. We'll move on to reports for information only. Number 1 is the Cable TV monthly report. Anybody have any questions or concerns? Okay, show that report received and filed. Number 2 is a Human Resources monthly management report. Questions or anything? Okay. We will show received and filed. Number 3, Legislative Operations and Outreach monthly report. Okay, and I also show this one received and filed. President's report.
I'll wait for the board meeting, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. I see nothing in other or no items in review. If I can have a motion for an adjournment.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We are adjourned.
Like to call to order the Transportation and Road Improvement Committee for March 18th, 2019. Would the secretary please call the roll?
Chairman Mills.
Present.
Vice Chairman Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Arnett.
Present.
Trustee Newell.
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Gata.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
Thank you. We'll look for a motion to approve the minutes of February 11th, 2019.
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. New business this evening, number 1, request approval of a resolution supporting the development of a state capital funding plan for transportation needs.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I take this to be a timely effort on the mayor's part to take down to Springfield with him tomorrow.
Indeed.
Any questions or comments on this? Staff want to say anything on it, or?
Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hanky. Any questions for Mr. Hanky? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Number 2, request approval of a change order to the material testing contract with Applied Geoscience Incorporated of Schaumburg, Illinois, for the 2018 street revitalization project, an amount of $38,524 for a total not to exceed $155,524.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Anything you wish to highlight on that? Anyone have any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Under information-only reports, we have the Transportation Division Monthly Report. Anything you wish to highlight, Mr. Hanky?
Not this evening.
Questions on that? If not, we will take that as marked as received and filed. Has the president changed his mind and wish to report anything?
I will still wait for the board meeting.
Okay.
Sure.
There is anything else to come before this committee this evening? If not, we still have one item in review for the month of May, being the discussion of parking permit program in the Washington Boulevard and Alcoa Lane area. Seeing nothing else to come before this committee, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and we are adjourned. Thank you. What'd you do?
No executive session now.
I know.
Okay, I'd like to reconvene the village board meeting of March 18th. Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk, to reestablish the quorum?
Gator.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Are here.
Present, sorry.
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Yeah, I'm here.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present. Okay, move on to item number 3, recognition of the audience. This is time if someone has a question or concern for an item that is not on the agenda and you'd like to address the village board and the village staff, now's the time to come forward. Going once?
No, Pat's
Nope.
coming up.
Pat's
Oh, Pat's
behind the
coming up,
pole.
okay. You hide behind the pole.
Good evening to the village board, Mayor,
Good
and
evening.
all of our trustees, and our Bev, our clerk. I have to pass this out first. My name is Pat Barch, 550 Briarcliff Lane, Hoffman Estates, Illinois. I've lived here now for 54 years. And I do have a request for the board, and as that's passed down, I'll wait until everybody has a copy. As historian of the village, I'm always looking for things that we might do that adds to the knowledge of our village and what goes on. And so I'm going to read this to you, to the Hoffman Estates Village Board. As village historian, I'd like to request that signs be placed at each Poplar Creek crossing along Hassel Road, both east and west of the Village Hall. So many of the businesses and shopping areas in the village are named after Poplar Creek, but the creek itself is not named. as we celebrate our 60th year, I feel that it would be a nice way to celebrate our 60th anniversary. I'm not sure how many people know where the creek snakes through the village or if there really is a Poplar Creek. Respectfully submitted, Pat Barch, Village Historian. And so I hope you'll take this under consideration. As you drive through some other states, you'll see signs at every little creek and at all the rivers with a name. And if you look in the phone book, or if you just drive around town, you'll see Poplar Creek this and Poplar Creek that, and everything uses that popular name of Poplar Creek. But the poor creek doesn't have a name. No one's ever put a sign on it, and no one really knows where it's at. I really don't know if the board knows where Poplar Creek is in the village. I think most people don't. But I like those things. Salt Creek and Poplar Creek were the two creeks. When we started to build the village, the Hoffmans used that name Twin Brook for our first school because it was Poplar Creek and Salt Creek that come through this area. Salt Creek goes into the Des Plaines River, and our Poplar Creek goes into the Fox River. So I'm hoping that you will take this under consideration. And I also would love to know what's going to happen with the Bergman House.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good suggestion.
I will sit down with Public Works and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, sounds good. Anyone else?
Sir?
Yes.
Well, where is it? I'm dying in suspense over here. You can't just do that and leave.
It crosses Hassel Road 3 times.
Well, I get that on the request, but like, where does it start and finish?
Oh, my.
Most of the creek has its headwaters up north in, was Bergman property, both of them. And so they come down through this way. And there is
Pat,
oh, I'm sorry.
Only take a minute.
Salt Creek and Poplar Creek have their headwaters up north on Harold Bergman's property. And the one goes into the Des Plaines River. That's the Salt Creek. Our Poplar Creek goes into the Fox. So why is that? There's a little continental divide that goes right through our area. It's right through the Harper College property. And so the one drains to the east and the other drains to the west. So it crosses Hassel Road here 3 times, and it does cross Gulf Road, but that's not our territory, so we can't do anything about a sign there. It goes under the Lion Bridge.
It goes through the golf course.
Yes. And, you know, I almost fell in the drink one day when I was taking a picture of the Lion Bridge. I wanted to get the snow on the heads of the lions. Perfect day, went out there and almost slid in the creek. And I would have been a goner. And so it's twice that's almost happened to me.
now Pat, that creek that runs along Barrington Road, right, just this side of the hospital, is that Poplar Creek there?
Yes. And I remember John Bierman, whose farm was right over there off of the old Higgins Road. It goes under that little road that's now, it's Old Higgins Road, which is abandoned, and you can't go back there now. That's the hospital property. But he used to hide under that bridge. And if the water wasn't real high, there were ledges there, and he and his friend would go there. They'd hide from their mother, and they said it was the coolest place on a hot day. So lots of stories. He went fishing in that creek also. It's amazing. There's all kinds of good fish in there. As it gets wider, you can actually go fishing. That would be further west. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? If not, we'll move on to approval of the minutes of the March 4th, 2019 meeting. Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. Consent agenda, omnibus vote. We have 2 items on the consent agenda, the approval of the agenda, and B, approval of the schedule of bills for March 18th, 2019, in the amount of $4,121,775.34.
So moved.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. Any questions about these items? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Move on back to President's Report. We already did the proclamations. Do have some appointments this evening. We have John Erickson, Daniel Lee, Lillian Clinton, and Nancy Trebe for the Complete Count Committee for the 2020 census. Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. We have one resignation, Judy Brose from the Celebrations Commission. Is there a motion?
Motion with regret.
Second.
There's a motion a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. We do mourn the passing of our former Public Works Supervisor, Joe Volpe. Joe retired in 2016 after giving the village over 35 years of service. He was Mr. Snow Command. Wonderful man. Visitation will be on Wednesday, March 20th from 3 to 9 at Countryside Funeral Home and Crematory on 333 South Roselle Road in Roselle, Illinois. And the funeral service will be Thursday, March 21st at 10:30 a.m. at St. Marceline Church, 822 South Springersguth Road in Schaumburg. We very much mourn the passing of Joe. And today I had the opportunity to have a mayor for a day, Elizabeth Urbaniak, and her mother Jennifer. And we had a very productive day, and it was very interesting, and it was very enjoyable. And it was a pleasure to meet her and her mother, and I think they enjoyed the day very much, and it's always good to see the enthusiasm of our employees when they describe their jobs. As I told them, the people take great pride in the job that they do, and they're very proud of it. They serve our residents well, so thank you to one and all. On Tuesday, March 5th, I made a presentation before the 5th grade class at Holy Family Catholic Academy, accompanied by Jennifer Georgievic, and that was very interesting. They had some great questions. These kids are just really smart today. I mean, they were smarter than I ever was at that age. Well, at any age, some people might say. And, yeah, thanks, Madam Clerk. Later that afternoon, we attended the Celtic Fest Commission meeting here at the Village Hall. On Wednesday, the 6th, I participated in the Executive Committee meeting of the Northwest Municipal Conference. And on March 7th, I accompanied Joni downtown, where she was given an Unsung Heroine Award by the County Board for District 15. She was nominated by Rebecca Dar from Wings for all her work that she does for social service agencies and other good causes in our area. It was very moving. Some of the things these women did was just amazing. Just amazing. One was an 11-year-old girl who got pajamas donated so kids at Lurie wouldn't have to wear the hospital gowns and all that stuff. And just amazing, hundreds of them. So there's just some fantastic people out there. And on Friday the 8th, we had the ribbon cutting for Bar and Grill at the Poplar Creek Bowling Alley. That was very nice. They did great food, and they did a nice job in the remodel. They've really totally redone Poplar Creek Bowl. It's amazing how nice it is. And on the 13th, we had a ribbon cutting at Lake County Physical Therapy on Higgins Road, 2260 West Higgins, Suite 104. And Trustee Gay and I attended the Lincoln Prairie School Expo at the Lincoln Prairie, obviously, and that was a very well-attended event. It was hard to find a place to park. And the talent of these kids is, again, absolutely amazing. Thursday the 14th, I attended the 4th of July Commission meeting. Yes, the 4th of July is going to come, and it is going to get warmer, and it's going to be fine. On Friday the 15th, I attended the Windy City Bulls game. Joni's Work Links Technologies, that was their night, and they had a new setup that they're doing at the Sears Center. It's right behind one of the nets where they set up tables and chairs and they serve food. And companies can rent it as just a thank you for employees or their business partners or clients. And it was really, really nicely done. And I'm glad to see that they're always thinking of new things to do at the Sears Center Arena. And today, again, I mentioned we had the mayor for the day, which was very nice. And we had a Scout Troop 399 came to visit. More, they had 17 kids and 10 adults. It was, they brought a lot of people, and they again had some very, very good questions. So it was a good day. All in all, it was a great day. And we'll move on to trustee comments. We want to start with trustee Mills.
Oh, thank you. On March 8th, I also attended the ribbon cutting at the Poplar Creek Bowl remodeling, and it is they've done a great job, and they're still working on things there, so it's going to only improve more. On the 10th, I got the chance to go to the Wolves game to see one of my granddaughters. Her school from Sycamore, Illinois, was one of many there that night who all sang dance hip-hop songs from the audience. So there were about 20 grade schools all in the audience singing along together. It was really cute to see, so it was a fun experience. And we were able to embarrass her enough, so, that always helps.
It always makes it fun.
On the 18th, which is today, we was great to listen to the Scout Troop 399 and their questions, some very intelligent young men in that troop. Congratulations to Joni McLeod on her Unsung Heroes Award. Well appropriate for her to receive that. And congratulations to the Windy City Bulls on making the playoffs.
Fabulous.
That's
a great
it.
game. Trustee Palafis.
I have a few things. Condolences to the Volpe family, which includes their Public Works family, all the folks down there for Joe's passing. Joe's a great guy. For those of us who had the time to do some projects with him, and he was always involved in the recycling events and things that the Green Commission and Sustainability took over. Thank you for Troop 399 for their visit this evening. I agree, a lot of good questions from both the scouts and the parents. And tonight's been an exciting night for me. Congratulations to Joni for her award. We got to grow the Plots Concert Commission, and now I know more about Poplar Creek. I don't know how else you could ring the bell. Also, congratulations to Representative Crespo, who stood in for the Speaker of the House, which I saw on social media.
That's cool.
That was pretty cool. I'm like, I know that guy, and got to watch him do that. And then good luck to the mayor and Trustee Stanton for your visit to Springfield tomorrow. Don't come back empty-handed.
We'll
No
run
pressure.
amok over there.
No pressure.
There you go. And then last but not least, I was contacted at the last Veterans Flag Raising by an Eagle Scout elect. I don't know what you call him as they're working towards it. His name's Joshua Greenbaum, and he had a desire to construct a couple of mailboxes as flag drops for both the PD and the Village Hall, which will be used for retiring old flags, which is really cool. And the design's really nice. If you haven't seen it yet, he did send a picture somewhere.
I have it.
Jim has it. Maybe he can circulate it around. But thank you to all who are involved in helping that get going, because I think the nearest one is Palatine's Legion. So it'll be nice having a couple over here for us to retire old flags. That's all for me.
Great.
Thanks, sir.
Trustee Newell.
Okay. On the 8th, along with everyone else, I was at the ribbon cutting at Bar Down at Poplar Creek Bowl, and they did an amazing job inside. It's really, really nice. So if you get a chance, go see. On the 9th, along with Trustee Arnett, we did the blue and gold for the PAC 397 at the Lakeview School. On the 11th, I attended the Meals on Wheels. It was a foundation event, and we stuffed over 200 bags for the homebound and the homeless and served meals to those who needed for the day, which was really cool to do. And everybody missed Mayor McLeod because you were in Washington, and I told them that you were there working for us. And then on the 12th was the sustainability meeting that I attended. And on that note, I was wondering if we could put on the committee, I received an email about Solarized Chicagoland, if we could put something about that onto the committee at one time.
Oh, it's a presentation, isn't it? We're attending, and we're part of that group.
Okay.
If it's just bringing back information from attending that.
Yeah,
Sure.
that would be great, so that everybody kind of knows about it.
Sure.
Like, that would be kind of neat.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, tonight, we had a lot of questions from Troop 399, and kudos to the mayor, because he was quick enough to answer them all, because he had no agenda or anything, and the kids come up with these things, and it's like, wow, okay, they need an answer. Condolences, of course, to the Volpe family. That is very, very sad, and congrats to Joni, and I have nothing else.
Okay, trustee Stanton.
Thank you. On the 4th, I was able to attend the ribbon cutting for the remodeling of the Poplar Creek Bowl. On the 9th, trustee Palafis and Gata and I were at the Blue and Gold event here for PAC 100. On the 13th, I was able to attend a meeting with the mayor and Mr. Norris with the ComEd rep. Also on the 13th, there was a ribbon cutting ceremony for the Lake County Physical Therapy. And later, also on the 13th, I attended another meeting here with the mayor, Mr. Norris, Mark Copeland, Kevin Kramer, and we were discussing the McShane properties. And that's it.
Okay, trustee Arnett.
Thank you. Also, as trustee Newell said, I attended the Blue and Gold for PAC 397 on March 9th. And also, with much disappointment, I was not able to do the polar plunge this year because they canceled it due to safety measures. So I'll be doing it next year. And also attended the Scout 399 questions and tour this evening. Congrats to Joni, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Gata.
There we go. First of all, condolences to Joe Volpe's family, and congratulations to Joni McLeod on her award. And then on Friday the 8th, majority of us all attended that river cutting ceremony, which was at Poplar Creek Bowl, and enough was said about that. Then on Saturday the 9th, the Blue and Gold event PAC 100 held at the Village Hall here. And as trustee Stanton says, that he was there, and trustee Falafis and myself, and it was a good crowd. That was a good crowd. A lot of the parents attended and grandparents, and I think that's excellent that they show the support. Then on Tuesday the 12th, had lunch with Mr. Daniel Lee from the Korean American Council. Also on the 12th, attended the senior citizens meeting here at Village Hall, and they have a number of interesting Wednesday luncheons and so forth coming up. I think you'll all enjoy that. Then on Wednesday the 13th, ribbon cutting at Lake County Physical Therapy at 2260 West Higgins Road. And then that evening with the mayor, where we attended the Lincoln Prairie School Expo at 500 Hillcrest Boulevard. Wow, there must have been 500 people there at least, because you couldn't find a parking spot, and it was a good half mile on either side of the school. But that was an excellent crowd also. So let's see. Also then tonight, that the Troop 399, and they threw all kinds of questions at the mayor, but he was right there, answered every single one of them. Anyways, that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to C, Village Manager's Report.
Just congratulations to Joni McLeod on the Unsung Heroes Award, and my condolences to the Volpe family on the loss of Joe, who, as everyone said, has been just an outstanding person and extraordinarily committed to what he did. That's all I have.
Thank you. 6D, Village Clerk's Report.
I have nothing to say tonight. Oh, sorry, I've been reminded. Early voting started. It's in our back room until April 1st, and then Election Day is April 2nd. Come one, come all. They're ready for you back there.
Okay, thank you. Move on to 6C, the Treasurer's Report.
Village Treasurer has prepared his report for the month of January, and it's ready for your review.
Anybody have any questions on the Treasurer's Report? If not, it'll be received and filed. Okay, move on to F, committee reports. Public Works and Utilities, Trustee Newell.
Okay, we will meet here on March 25th, 2019 for the Public Work and Utility Committee. We will have a roll call and approval of minutes from February 25th, 2019. And under new business, we have 10 items. Item number 1, recommend approval of a request by Baum Revision LLC for a resolution for the acceptance of the public improvements within Duluth Trading Company. Item number 2, request authorization to obtain requests for proposals for design engineering services for Almond Lane culvert replacement. Item number 3, request authorization to extend the 2017 contract for 2019 concrete maintenance/restoration to Mondi Construction Incorporated, doing business as Ray Concrete Incorporated out of West Chicago, Illinois, which is the low bid, at a unit price of $6.25 per square foot for the sidewalk, $23.50 per lineal foot for curb replacements, and $54.50 per square yard for driveway apron replacements, in an amount not to exceed $115,000. Item number 4, request authorization to extend the 2018 contract for 2019 season landscape maintenance services for A and B locations, village-owned sites and state county rights-of-way to V. Cardenas Landscaping, which is out of East Dundee, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $75,203. Item number 5, request authorization to award contract for 2019 season landscape maintenance services for C&D locations, village-maintained detention areas, park-type properties, and various cul-de-sac islands to Nilco Incorporated out of Woodstock, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $63,444. Item number 6, request authorization to extend 2017 contract for the 2019 sidewalk raising mudjacking program to Raise Right, which is out of Carroll Stream, Illinois, which is the low bid, at a unit price of $2.03 per square foot for sidewalk in an amount not to exceed $20,000. Item number 7, request authorization to waive bidding and purchase 2 new fronts snowplows for use on 2019 budgeted trucks using Sourcewell contract discount from Linco Equipment Sales, which is out of Maryville, Indiana, in an amount not to exceed $31,554. Item number 8, request authorization to waive bidding and purchase 2 replacement trucks through Suburban Purchasing Cooperative contract from Curry Motors, which is out of Frankfort, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $81,576. Item number 9, request authorization to extend 2017 contract for 2019 contracted weed control and fertilization for various village-owned sites and rights-of-way to True Green out of Carpentersville, Illinois, which is the low bid, in an amount not to exceed $15,120. And finally, item number 10, request authorization to award contract for engineering services to study and evaluate the village's water distribution systems for infrastructure capital project planning to Burns and McDonnell, which is out of Downers Grove, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $66,300. Under reports, which are for information only, we will have the Department of Public Works monthly report, which will be received and filed. Item number 2 will be the Department of Development Services monthly engineering report of the Transportation and Engineering Division, which will be received and filed. And then we will have a president's report, nothing under other items in review, and then we will adjourn.
Thank you. Move on to Public Health and Safety, Trustee Gata.
Yes, immediately following the Public Works and Utilities Committee, we will have a roll call to establish a quorum. The approval of the minutes of February 25th, 2019. Committee reports under new business. Number 1, request approval of an automatic aid agreement between the Village of Hoffman Estates and the City of Elgin for fire and emergency medical services. Under reports for information only, 1, the Police Department monthly report, 2, Health and Human Services monthly report, 3, Emergency Management monthly report, Fire Department monthly report, and all of these will be received and filed. And then under 3, President's report, 4, nothing in other, nothing in items in review, and we will adjourn.
Thank you. Trustee Gata.
Immediately following public health and safety.
Yes.
I knew what you meant. We'll call to order, if it's not too late at night after Anna's 10 items, the Finance Committee for March 25th, 2019, where we will establish a roll call and quorum. We will ask for a motion, a second, for the approval of minutes from February 25th, 2019, and March 4th special of 2019. We only have 4 items under new business. First is the request approval to issue a request for proposal for ticketing services at the Sears Center Arena. Number 2 is a request approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 13, Revenue Taxes and Charges of the Hoffman Estates Municipal Code, Article 4, Hotel Tax. Item number 3 is a request approval of an ordinance creating Article 15, which is Transportation Network Company Tax of Chapter 13, Revenue Taxes and Charges of the Hoffman Estates Municipal Code. Item number 4 will be a request authorization to renew a 1-year contract with Call One for local and long-distance telephone service through the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative, SPC Telecommunication Services Vendor Contract Number 137 Alpha. We have 3 reports for information only. The first is the Finance Department monthly report. The second is the Information System Department monthly report. Third is the Sears Center monthly report. And then we will have, if need be, a President's report. Anything that may come up in other, we have no items in review, and then we will adjourn.
Thank you. Move on to item 7, additional business. Trustee Mills.
Mayor, on the first item there, A, the request approval of the resolution for the Platts concert, they need to make a correction on the ordinance, the resolution itself, because in the first section, you've got increasing, under membership, it increases to 9, but under terms of office, we've got 4 members and 3 members. So those need to be changed, because that adds up to 7. Okay, just so it gets amended correctly.
Okay.
Good catch.
We can thank our corporation counsel here, too, for catching that.
Okay, we do have several items under additional business. A is the request board approval of a resolution creating the Platts Concert Commission, increase in membership. Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any questions on this? Seeing none, can you poll the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried.
Would you like to have a omnibus vote for the rest of them?
If
I will
that's your
make such
desire.
a vote. I will say can we approve by omnibus votes B through G?
There's a
I'll
motion.
second.
There's a motion, a second for omnibus vote. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. You can have a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion a second. Okay, the other items on this agenda are request board approval of a resolution in support of the need for a State of Illinois capital funding program. C, request board approval of a resolution directing the publishing of the 2019 zoning map. D, request board approval of a request by Chris Petrovic for approval of a site plan amendment for a facade change and a change to the conditions of approval to allow temporary occupancy. E, request board authorization to 1, waive formal bidding. 2, purchase replacement code enforcement division vehicle unit C81 through Northwest Municipal Conference Suburban Purchasing Cooperative in an amount not to exceed $21,730. F, request board authorization of a change order to the material testing contract with Applied Geoscience, Inc., Schaumburg, Illinois, for the 2018 street revitalization project in an amount of $38,525 for a total amount not to exceed $155,524. G, request board authorization to award contract for council chambers televising and presentation system to Key Codia Media, Schaumburg, Illinois, in amount not to exceed $88,825.04. Chair, we do have a motion and a second. Any questions on any of these items? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried. Chair to accept the motions for adjournment to executive session. For what reasons, Trustee
I'll
Mills?
make the motion, we adjourn into executive session for the reason of personnel compensation, 5 ILCS 120/2C1.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried. We adjourn to executive session. We will not be coming back out.